Hey everyone, welcome to another one of our videos here. Today, Caylin is joining me for a quick chat about one of the Salesforce events that happened this week, Salesforce Connections. Wednesday morning, most of the morning, we were, presented with another live Salesforce event, virtually for us, in person for some people, and it went, it happened.
Did it? Um,
It almost didn't. It seemed like it wasn't for a little bit.
yeah. So for those of you who didn't attend, I guess I'll just tell a little story. So I get a little chat from Chris the morning it's supposed to start, being like, "How do we get on? How do we watch? There's no invite. There's no link." And I think Chris and I spent a good solid 15 minutes looking around, trying to figure out how we were on the web page, the connections platform page, clicking all their tabs, scrolling around. Um,
Yeah,
I got
Salesforce is usually pretty good. Like if you go to the event page, it's either live right there or there's a link that's like, here's where you can watch. And
somewhere. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. And we didn't get any email the day of because we usually also get an email like right before the event starting, kind of like as a reminder, maybe like an hour or two ahead. Nothing, no form of communication. So I finally went to Twitter because I was like, we can't be the only two people.
and we weren't.
We weren't. There was a lot of disgruntled trailblazers like us. But luckily, the Salesforce Twitter homepage was live streaming the show there, but it still wasn't anywhere else. Like I could only find it on Twitter. And what you messaged me like 25 minutes into the show, letting me know like they had finally managed to get it up and
Yeah.
running.
And I think they did finally send us an email that was like, sorry for the technical difficulties, but it's live now and you can see it. So if there was an introduction, we unfortunately missed it.
Missed it.
Um, but did tune in time to see Sarah Franklin leading the show from the rooftop of Salesforce Park on a chilly San Francisco day.
Okay, so for those of you who are not paying attention, all the audience members who were there were bundled up. They looked like they were going to be in the snow in like 20 degrees, beanies, scarves, gloves, thick puffy jackets, blankets. And poor Sarah Franklin is in this like cute little dress and high heels. The wind's blowing. You can just tell she's cold. And then they make her walk out onto the grass in her high heels. And her face during that part of the section, she's so focused. She's like trying to remember her speech, and I could tell she's just carefully just picking up, and she's so focused. And I'm like, who thought of this? Who is her costume people? Who directed this? I'm like, they should have put her in a pantsuit, and they should have not made her walk out. I'm like, does nobody have any sympathy for women? Put her in some flats.
It definitely, I'm sure that there are people with harder jobs at Salesforce, but in my mind, Sarah Franklin has the hardest job at Salesforce because she's essentially the face of every one of these live events now. And for the last year
Yes.
has been on that roof more than anybody else and recorded so many sit down introductions and throws to people in the field. And I'm just like, man, she is working constantly, and that pressure would get to me.
Right. And also she's going to get under a bunch of scrutiny for like what she wears or what she looks like. But I'm like, she must have been so uncomfortable or miserable. Like, just help a girl out. It's okay to wear a pantsuit. Give her like there's long, nice coats she could have been given. I'm sorry. I was just really I could not pay attention to what she was saying because I was so distracted and like worried for her. I was like, you see the audience and then you see her. I'm like, no, they should have had to suffer together and give me the pretense that she wasn't freezing because I know she was.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it was a little bit, I mean, it wasn't weird because we've had it for the last year, but a lot of the audience members, everyone was on the roof socially distanced, and a lot of them had masks on. And I get better safe than sorry, but I was also like, come on, you're vaccinated now. Like, most of us are vaccinated at this point, and you're outdoors, and like,
Right? I'm like, and I don't think they would let you attend if you weren't vaccinated.
yeah.
Like, you know?
Yeah, although I will admit I do still wear my mask when it's a chilly morning walk because it keeps my face warm. So I suspect there was a lot of that there that was like, this is just another bundle layer. This is going to keep me toasty on this rooftop.
No, it really does. So yeah, actually, I could definitely see that. And I mean, I think a few of the other guest speakers they had throughout the keynote were either not there or they were only out very momentarily, and so I feel like they didn't have to suffer as long as she did. Um, but speaking of guests, so they had a guest singer on the show, Leon Bridges, and I felt bad for him too. He was much warmer than she was, but as I was telling you before, singers and vocal cords in the cold, that's bad for them. Like they should have put him in a banquet room and then could have had audience in there, something.
Yeah. Jennifer Hudson got to do it from her house.
From her
I remember that
staircase.
last year. Yeah, and that was a great performance. Like,
That wasn't she had the piano player? Yeah. Come on. I just feel like there was just so much and I still have more to say. Like I just like the keynote for instance, like was very sales pitchy. Which I get it, it's Salesforce. And this connections is meant for like marketers and sales teams and whatnot. It's not made for admins and devs, but still it's like I wanted to hear more about like innovations and things that were going on, but I was so distracted between like cold weather and just like the problem of trying to log on and the live feed and stuff. And I'm like, Salesforce has been doing live events now or not live, excuse me, virtual events for over a year now and they've been pretty smoothly. I mean, hello, Dreamforce was all virtual a few months ago. And I'm like, why could have this not gone more smoothly?
yeah. And there's a lot of it that's pre-recorded because all of the sessions, I'm
Yes.
pretty sure all of the sessions were pre-recorded and produced and put up, even though they weren't available after the keynote. It was like, when the keynote wraps up, go ahead and join the sessions that you're signed up for. And I was like, I can't. I can click on the picture, but it's just a picture. There's no video there.
No link, no
Yeah.
video.
And they are up now, so that's good. And I'll throw a link in the comments here for where you can go to watch the sessions that you might have missed because you weren't able to get into them. But like those are pre-recorded. The gifting of the golden hoodie is
Oh yeah.
pre-recorded, although it's like faked to be live, where they had Sarah, pretend to be on a FaceTime call with that Publishers Clearinghouse. We're knocking on your door. We got a surprise for you.
Here's a jacket. Come
Yeah,
on, Salesforce. Come on.
it's a cool hoodie.
It
Like it's definitely,
is.
I would wear it. But if you knock on my door and you don't have a giant check, I'm going to be a little disappointed.
Right, something.
Yeah,
I'm like, you could have sent her the hoodie, and she could have done like her own little video around it. Yeah, don't come knocking to her door and like be like, oh my god. I'd be like, cool, thanks.
yeah,
But yeah, where's something else? That's it, Salesforce. Come on.
yeah,
I'm just saying. All the shade today. All the shade at
yeah.
Salesforce. Sorry, Salesforce.
It does strike me as interesting that there's so much pre-recorded, but there's still like a almost clinging to the idea that like some component of it has to be live. And it's like, I really don't think, I don't need it. I don't need the like,
Yeah, the pretense of it being live. Yeah.
yeah. And I guess it's probably better for the numbers if people assume like I have to tune in, like appointment watching almost.
Hmm.
But you could do that with a YouTube broadcast and schedule it to go up, or get everything hosted as private videos and then roll up the Connections site all at once at 10 a.m. on Wednesday
Right.
morning. Like
Wednesday.
it definitely seems like Salesforce is probably excited to get back to in-person events because it'll make a lot of these headaches go away.
I think so too. And like you said, like I was able to see the viewer count, like at least on the Twitter one. And at one point it was like as high as like high 50s, low 60s. But then at one point it dropped to like the high 20s because you can tell just like people were just like so frustrated with like how things were moving along and like some of the issues or whatever. And I'm like, they're losing their audience due to this like live issue trying to get it up when it really should have just been, like you said, pre-recorded and posted. They probably would have kept a lot more people's attention.
Yeah. And like high 50s and 60s, like not 50,000 or 60,000, like 55 people watching
No,
on
no, no.
Twitter.
Oh no, it was the thousands.
Okay. I
Yeah,
was like, that
it
seems
wasn't
really
just the
low, but it
50.
doesn't surprise me.
It's so bad. Only
Yeah.
55 of us were in attendance, two of them being Chris and myself.
Yeah.
No,
Also,
thousands.
yeah. Mark
Thousands.
Benioff had 6 TVs watching it, so that's 6 right there.
Yeah, no, it was thousands, but still kind of like low for a Salesforce event, especially because like, I mean, I attend one of their events just like about like attendance statistics and events, and theirs was dropping low like way before the mark that live virtual events tend to lose their audience anyways. And I was like someone's getting fired. This does
Yeah.
not go well. I'm sorry, person, whoever you are, but ugh, that was not a good run. Not a good run.
Yeah. Well, they're going to have a chance to make it up with some events coming up in the future, and I think that we're going to talk about in some videos coming up. So
Stay tuned.
stay tuned for those updates. Like I said, though, I will go ahead and throw a link here in the description for how to get to those connection sessions if you want to catch them after the fact. They are all available now. There are a bunch of episodes and interactive learning opportunities. I'm not sure if the keynote is up there. It is. The keynote is up there too. So you can watch Sarah's presentation. You can watch the people shiver on the rooftop and reach your own conclusions.
Yep.
Anything else you think we should mention on this review?
No. Because it ain't gonna be positive. Sorry,
Yeah,
Salesforce.
if you
I
can't
have
say
nothing more to
something
say.
nice.
Don't say it at all. Except
Yeah.
I just did for like 10 minutes in this video. So sorry. Not really
Well,
though.
yeah, I mean, it was our morning.
Yeah. Yeah. It took a good chunk out of our morning to be disappointed. So
Yeah.
sorry about it. Not sorry about the survey I took and I left for them that they asked me to take. So
Yeah. So professional opinions, maybe skip the keynote or click your way
yes.
through it. Leon Bridges is good fun to watch. It's a shame that he is in the cold there. But do check out the sessions if there are ones that interest you. It has it broken down by job role or by area of interest. So those are helpful, and those are a positive thing that we can end this video on. So
Yeah.
thank you, Caylin, for putting up with that on Wednesday. Thank you for recapping it with me today. And thank you, everyone, for watching at home. Stay tuned here for more Salesforce news and stuff, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.